Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're watching this video. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good week, and we are going to talk today about being a good neighbor or being a good friend to others. All right, Jesus told a story about some people that weren't very nice, and then about a guy who was a really good friend or good neighbor. So, our story today is on page 284, and it's called The Good Samaritan. And the important thing to know in this story about Samaritans were a lot of people thought they weren't very nice people. All right, so Jesus told a story about a good Samaritan, basically how we can see the good, we should see the good in anyone, even people that maybe we think are bad or that other people have told us are bad. So our story starts today when Jesus starts telling this story. All right, he said there was a man traveling down a road, and all of a sudden some bad guys attacked him and stole him and beat him up pretty good. And you can see here at the bottom of the page, he doesn't look in very good shape, does he? He was hurt pretty badly. And he didn't even have enough energy. He was hurt so bad, he couldn't even get up and walk. So he laid there, and someone comes by. Not there yet. Someone came by who was not a very good neighbor. You know what he did? He saw the man laying there, and he crossed to the other side of the road to get away from him because he didn't want to help him. Wasn't being very nice, was it? And then Jesus tells us a second person came along. And you know what the second person did? Same thing. Crossed to the other side of the road and didn't even help the poor man who was laying there all beaten up. But then our story gets a little bit happier. Or a lot happier, actually. So a third man came along. And this man was a Samaritan, which is why our story is called The Good Samaritan. So he came along, and a lot of people might have thought Samaritans weren't very good, that the guy wouldn't help. But you know what? He walked up to the guy who was hurt, and you know what he did for him? Well, going over to him, Jesus told the story that the Samaritan, the good neighbor, soothed the wounds. He had some olive oil, and he soothed his wounds, and he bandaged him up. And you know what he did? He put him on his own donkey. So because he couldn't walk. He was beaten up so badly. So he put him on his donkey. And the Samaritan, our good neighbor, who had been riding the donkey, walked beside the donkey and let the man ride the donkey. And he took him into town, and they went to an inn. So he took care of him for a couple days. And when he left, he went to the innkeeper and he gave him some extra money and said, I want you to take care of this man until he is well enough that he can walk and leave your inn. So you can see here, the Good Samaritan's giving some money to the innkeeper. And the innkeeper did. So Jesus said, here's the end of our story. My little story that I'm telling. And Jesus said, now which of these three would you say was a good neighbor to the man who was attacked? And somebody told Jesus, the one who showed him mercy and helped him. And Jesus said, yes, now go and do the same for others. So Jesus wants us to be good neighbors, good brothers, good sisters, good children, good parents, and to help others, maybe good friends, good students, helping other kids at school. So Jesus wants us to be all these things so that we help others and that we don't just cross the road when someone is in need, kind of look the other way and not help them, that we try to help them as much as possible and be a good neighbor. All right, I'm going to have a second video that has a couple more things in it, but this is the end of our story.